Everything from overlanding in your stock rig to full-on LS-powered 2 buggies on stickies. This is the Total Offroad Podcast. I'm your host, Steve.
And I'm Ian, and we are here with episode 22.
Nailed it.
Double deuces.
Nice.
So, real quick, this week was a beep week at work.
Yep.
I was going to say shit, but I don't think that really explains it. It was busy. It wasn't bad.
Oh,
it was
wasn't bad.
Busy. It was like a good, bad week.
Right.
So today was probably the king cock of the bad days.
Oh, wow.
As far as being busy.
Yeah.
Like punch in, punch out, bust ass. Like I had to pee for like 3 hours and I was like, I'm hammering shit out. So I wasn't on my phone is my point of this. So the funny thing was I get on my phone as I'm sitting in the truck, I just walked out of work. I was sitting in the truck, kind of like chilling out with my AC seats and shit. And
fucking fancy ass.
Yeah, it's nice. Until you make the payment, but
Yeah.
whatever. So I was looking on my phone. I had all kinds of emails, Facebook, Instagram, all kinds of shit that you would get on a normal, especially a Friday.
Right.
So I'm going through and I see that you posted in our insider group on Facebook, which if anybody's listening is not a member to, hit us up and we'll get you in the club.
If you're on Facebook, add me as a friend, add Ian as a friend, get in there. It's Total Offroad Podcast.
Trail riders. Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
It's the good stuff. Yeah.
It's a good bullshit thread.
It's where we get the OG members, the people that really like this podcast. They're in there.
So I saw that you'd posted in there and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do podcast stuff tonight. I'll see what, is getting posted there. So I had seen that you had, I saw it.
Seen it.
I done seen her.
Seen it.
Seen it. How many ways can we say seen it? I saw that you had posted saying, hey, does anybody have any topics that would like to discuss? And I'm like, oh, that's a freaking brilliant idea.
Fact.
Dude,
you know what it was?
Hold on. This is what it was. Because I found this so comical. I literally laughed my ass off. And this it's like the cherry on my day. Like it wasn't a bad day at work. It was just a long, hard day. And I was like, I was just scrolling through the comments. I was like, this shit is priceless. Here's a small sample. Here's a small sample.
Don't say his name.
Beep. Complains that we talk about him. And to that, I say, send us a sticker. You know who you are. And so does every other listener. We had one guy who is hilariously funny. Every freaking week, one of us, mainly myself, fucks up and we don't put shit on YouTube because there's 8 people that listen to this on YouTube. There's one guy that always has to call us out about it. And I'm like, bro, I get it. But I'm not changing me. This is me being lazy. So he said, talk about the YouTube Nazis. Yeah. But he's the YouTube Nazi. I'm like, you just called yourself out, but thanks.
Well, there's more than one, but
he's the leader.
And that would be Jake. That would be Jake.
Jake. The problem is if he didn't remind us, that shit would go weeks. Without being on YouTube.
Well, that's something I didn't know that wasn't getting. So the last week's episode didn't get uploaded to the website, and I thought it was just automatic.
2 of them. The last 2 of them.
Baby Sode wasn't on the website.
Yes,
and neither was last week's episode. And I didn't even know that they weren't getting uploaded until somebody on Facebook was like, "Yo, I'm trying to find on the website, and it's not there." I'm like, "What?"
It's because I straight up forgot.
So
2 weeks.
I got to give a little backstory on the YouTube Nazi. Because because Jake hits me up every week, on Tuesday between 8
he's regular.
And
he's a regular Nazi,
full on. Every week listens to it, but he listens on YouTube or plays it on YouTube, and so every week Ian. And this is not all Ian's fault. I can't blame it.
It is a lot of times.
Okay, but I can't blame it solely on you because I don't get the YouTube video put together and sent to you until 8 o'clock at night on a Monday.
But my computer is like Fred Flintstone.
Right, and it doesn't want to do its thing. And so Jake hits me up every week and is like,
YouTube?
Did you do a video for YouTube?
And you go, fuck my YouTube guy. Yeah, he should meet him. He's a great, reliable fella.
And so the other day, Ian sent me we got me logged into the YouTube. So now I have my own YouTube, access to the TOP page. And I got it uploaded early I got it uploaded Monday night at like 10 or like 9:30 or something. That I got loaded up, and I sent Jake a message. I'm like, "Dear YouTube Nazi,
listen, guy, it is up. So you just hush it." He already had the message like typed out. He was going for it.
I was like, "Dear YouTube Nazi, we'd like to inform you that our policies have changed."
Due to COVID, we have reevaluated our processes.
Yeah, and you'll be happy to know that the podcast will be available on YouTube in 2.5 hours.
Isn't wonderful?
Central Standard Time.
Yeah, Central Standard Time. Thank you. So we took care of that problem.
Yep. So we got the YouTube figured out. Now I have access to that, and I'm just uploading that straight, which saves us like 4 steps.
Oh yeah,
so that's handy.
It's nice. So there's a couple more comments that just really cracked my shit up. George wants to know when your crew cab's going to be on 4 links in Rockwell's. And I would like to know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Geo would like to know. Never. Didn't you see the response?
Well, you did.
Yeah.
And then you said something else that I wanted you to say on record.
I said the most it would get would be a solid axle swap, Dana 60.
And what's the timeline on that?
I don't know.
You know, people are like got a pin out and ready to write this down.
No,
right?
They're not going to eat it. So also,
you just got called out like 4 years ago for being on 40s. They're going to call you out on,
2 years ago.
Okay, they're going to call you out.
So I had another friend on Snapchat. I was like posting videos of the driveway. The driveway is full of Mopars.
Yep.
And so he's like, "You need to get that crew cab running again. You're crew cab Steve. Like you need to do it.
You need the crew cab to be crew cab Steve.
Yeah, right. You're required." And
you still got it.
Well, I have it. It's in the backyard. And he goes, "You need to get it back on the road." And I said, "Oh, it's going down the road. All right."
Unfriends. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
That's cold.
Well, I don't know. I was running down through this, like what I need to do to the crew cab to make it what I want.
Yep.
And that is LS with minimum 400 horse or right around the 400 horse to flywheel mark.
Okay.
The 410 gear swap and then fix all the little things.
An OBS Chevrolet, all the little things. That's the entire truck.
It's everything.
I'm here to tell you.
It's just little stuff. It's not like a lot. It's not bad, or at least it wasn't. But like it just needs a few things. Like it needs a brake controller. It needs preferably a doubled in with a backup camera. It needs a heated steering wheel. It needs air conditioned seats. You know, the little things.
Yeah. So I just bought one of those. Comes with a payment. Dude, here's the best part. I don't have to do anything. Okay. I've got it set up now that it just takes my money.
There was something else that
I couldn't. Super convenient.
There was something else I was thinking about on the crew cab that I couldn't get other than more gears. I would prefer to have more gears. I can't remember what it was now. But there was something else the other day that I was talking to Matt and I was
powerful mirrors.
I don't think that the Ram has that.
Yeah, they do. I'm sure they do.
Well, somebody does. I don't know if the model.
I know the wife's father's truck has power fold.
Not moose
tow mirrors.
Wait.
They're like the moose. Not they patented moose mirror. Yeah, they fold in.
They fold in. They don't fold up.
Yeah, Dodge is working on that. Or Ram's working on that. They listen to our podcast. They're on it. Dude.
If you guys didn't hear that episode.
God, I gotta come back to this. All right.
Go back to it.
So I have three more.
3 more comments? Oh, I'm late.
3 more good ones. 3 more good ones.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even.
Shit, I lied. 4.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So real quick, Derek wants to know if he can fit 37s on his torsion bar with a crank. Like, can he crank his torsion bars and fit 37s?
Oh hell yeah, bro.
So yeah, Sawzall life, bro.
That's it.
The good old forum days. How much lift do I need to run the 33s with the crank? Go away.
Somebody posted that a while back. Losers. You know, just because everybody's like, don't ask how much lift you need to fit 40s and blah, blah, blah. And so somebody's like, how much lift do I need on my Cherokee to fit 40s? And I'm like, how much do you have to cut not to lift at all and put 40s on a Cherokee?
Probably not much. I'm just wondering
how much cut. Like to be able to turn like full lock. Like how much of the floorboard do you have to take out?
Just on pavement?
Yeah.
How much?
Don't think so?
A little massage with the hammer.
No lift.
So Chris was on my cool list. He's not anymore because he wants to bring up Jeep colors.
Is that Willie?
And then Rick, Crawler Offroad, Rick wants to use logic and say like some like technical facts about it. I don't think he got that we were making fun of Ian for hating Beep Blue. So thanks, guys. I appreciate that one. We could just let that die.
Love it.
We don't have to keep bringing it up.
Nope. I ordered some U-joints today.
William, I don't know. I'm talking about it. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm moving on. I'm already triggered. William said we need more beer safety info.
Beer safety.
That's a good one. Don't spill your alcohol, bros.
Oh man.
And here's the best one. There's one guy.
You know how you keep from doing that?
You drink it.
You drink it.
There's one guy. They always say there's one guy.
There's that one guy.
There's always one guy. We had one.
Okay.
One legitimate, like no bullshit.
Straight
like,
up.
Gave us a straight up answer.
Who was it?
And it was Bill.
Okay.
My mailman.
Uh-huh.
OG. Like awesome.
Yeah.
Said we need to do some park info about some area parks other than the Badlands or
it's the only one that exists.
Nope.
Cliffs?
The Cliffs.
Yeah.
Because there's some other parks around this area that we have not talked about. And I'm like, that would make a really good episode.
Sure would.
So I'm scrolling through these all jackassery comments. I'm like, well, there's one guy that actually like, thank you, Bill.
Actually listens for content.
God damn. Everybody else, can you crank my torsion bars or they're going to hate on me for not sending a sticker? Yeah. Send us a sticker. Still haven't got it.
Nope.
My mailman, Bill, hasn't delivered it. So thanks. Dude, you know what's going to be awesome? When Bill delivers my mail that has a sticker from Beep.
Yeah.
That's some
a listener delivering a listener's sticker.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mic drop.
Let's check that off the list.
So the other thing I have to give up. Nope. This is my last thing. Speaking of moose mode. We had a viewer. I don't remember who it was.
Uh-huh.
He's like, yeah, we were talking about hauling tube and shit home. Has a picture of a fucking 20-foot stick of tube. Did he have two of them? He might have two of them. 4. Fucking even
all
better.
Banded together.
All banded together, hanging off the moose mirror and the bed of the truck. And I'm like, that is the most badass shit ever.
He had like a 2x4. I didn't see what it was.
It looked like a 2x4 or something kind of cattywampus in the bed.
So yeah, the 2x4 was like against the front wall.
Yep.
It was hooked under the bed rail on the driver's side and over the bed rail on the passenger side.
Yeah, it made like a little arm thing.
Little arm.
And then used the mirror. But the best part is he had the mirror up so the tube wouldn't slide off.
Moose mode.
Fuck yes. That made my shit. Like, I was so excited when I saw that.
Haul truck.
God, it was awesome.
That's great.
So that's all I've got.
So what did show up today? Okay. So
did I get something today or did you get something? Oh,
one dick weasel.
As I'm looking at it.
One dick weasel can't seem to get us a sticker in 4 months.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The other one gets
us that guy. You know?
The other one gets us a sticker. Not one sticker.
How many stickers did we get? Do we have a number?
Over a dozen.
Okay. So we have 12 stickers.
At least.
Koozies.
Yep. Koozies.
Personalized note.
Bearings.
Parts. Thank you.
All of that in 24 hours.
And one, I don't know, creature of the world.
Yeah.
Can't get us one sticker.
Creature of the world.
I don't want to call him a person. I don't want to call him an individual. I don't want to give him an identity.
A listener.
We can't hate on him if he's not real.
A guest.
Yeah.
Episode 9?
I don't know. We should delete that episode.
I think I paid to have it put up, so I'm not going to delete it.
It's worth it. How much was it? Was it like?
I don't know, $5.
I'll pay you 10.
How about, can we waffle it?
We'll waffle it with somebody else because we ain't waffling it with him. That's for sure. Fucking guy.
All right, you got what you asked for. We talked about you.
Yeah, and then I was like, how can I talk shit about him if I don't talk about him? I was like, this works right into his plan. And he's sitting there laughing his ass off now.
All right.
So thanks, Shelby.
There. I was gonna say his name, at least so some of the listeners, the newer listeners, know who we're talking about. Shelby Scott.
Yeah, don't let him promise you a sticker. That's all I can tell you.
That's all I can. Don't have one.
Nice guy. Great guy. He'll call you right up. He'll give you the shirt off his back, but he sure as shit won't give you a sticker.
He'll waffle you anything that's not bolted to the floor.
And he'll include the bolts to bolt the damn thing to the floor. But he won't give you a fucking sticker.
So
I bet I could pay
to the new.
Can we waffle a sticker and I just rig it to win it?
It'd be great.
I'd probably get it faster than a free one.
Bet you would. Man, you should have thought about that 2 months ago.
I got an idea. It just came to me.
So back to what we're talking about Chris from Complete Offroad getting me my bearings for the front hubs on the Dana 44. Got me my Timken bearings and my seals. I literally paid for them at lunch on PayPal.
Yep.
He sent me an invoice. I paid it. It was like 12:30, 1 o'clock on Thursday. They showed up today at 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
I was like, damn, That's impressive.
I thought I was baller paying for 2 days shipping from California with rough stuff for like $25.
That's worth it. But it takes them like 8 days to package it up. So
I had to call. I forgot to. We can talk about this later.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin this.
Back to
I'll write it down.
Complete off-road. Chris, Willie,
Dubuque, Iowa.
Oh, you got the koozie, right? I have the Yukon koozie. Send us 2 koozies, or send us 4 koozies. I have 2 of mine at home. My 2 of these are at home. Send us a cool Yukon gear. So as on the last episode, I was bitching about not having any stickers. You know, you pay all these monies for parts and then they don't give you any stickers. It turns out they have the stickers.
They just don't like you.
They just, yeah. So like in my box over here, let me get my box. In my box, he sent me your standard kick-ass Yukon sticker. Big and like they're good size. Was that 6-inch sticker?
That's a nice sticker.
You know, your full Yukon stickers, but this right here, this is the sticker. I have looked high and low in my Yukon Hardcore Lockout box.
Nothing.
And have never found the Yukon Hardcore Lockout sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they make one.
Oh, yeah. Did you not spend enough, maybe?
$300 on 2 lockouts? Yeah. Seems like enough.
Could have bought 4.
Maybe it's because they're from Amazon. Amazon doesn't get stickers.
Yeah, but I don't know. Dude.
Either way.
Stickers.
Chris hooked it up. Got me all my stickers. He also sent me the 2 axle cap stickers that go on the end of my axle cap.
Those are badass. Those are cool. I didn't know they made those, but those are cool.
Those are cool. And then he told me, so I've talked to him a few times this week. He called me up when he was wanting to get some gear information to give me a quote on some gears, just to see if he could get me a deal on those, which he's working on. And then we talked about some other stuff I wanted. Obviously, I ordered the front hub bearings. He's got an invoice in the queue right now that as soon as I'm ready to pay for it, he'll ship them to me. And that is for these cool Spicer U-joints. Have you seen them? Spicer makes their normal 760 U-joint.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool. And then they make one. It's a Spicer. It's the same U-joint, except for they've coated it bikini blue.
That was your one. I swear to God, that was your one.
It's a blue coated U-joint. And Chris was like, when you, I asked him, I was like, is there anything you want me to talk about on the podcast? He's like, yes, I would like you to call this U-joint bikini blue.
I'm just saying, I got to buy some axle parts and I'm going to take my business elsewhere.
You're going to go elsewhere?
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
So, anyway,
I'm in charge of this podcast. Like we shouldn't be taking crap on our own show.
I don't know.
It's horrible.
I feel like you're the one getting crap. People calling you out for
it's because every time that something annoys me, I open my mouth and then people do an Ian and they go, we found a soft spot. Let's poke the shit out of that.
Look a button.
Bikini blue. I'm starting to come around to it, but it still annoys me.
That's fine. So
what's the other one?
He sent me that. So I asked him like what he wanted to do. He told me like say that on the podcast. And I was like, okay. I was like, that'll be pretty entertaining. He's like, that'll get Ian good and worked up.
Yeah, well, triggered.
Consider me triggered.
Push it. I'll throw your koozie on the floor.
So, did you see that email I got from Yukon?
Nope.
You didn't see it on my Instagram?
Nope.
Oh, you missed out. Literally, the podcast came out Wednesday. I got an email from Yukon, from Randy's, like directly. It says, spend $200, get a free ball cap.
Oh, okay. I did see that. And I felt your anger through the Instagram, through the world. I don't know how this works, but it like a phone line through the World Wide Web into my living room. I felt you being like little vein in the forehead. Like, I can't get a
fucking sticker for spending $800. You going to tell me I get a hat for spending $2? Upset.
Triggered. That's the word. This episode, we are triggered. That's about how it always works, though. As soon as you buy something, you're like, "Oh, damn, should have waited."
Oh yeah,
should have.
I did that with my mattress. But anyway,
everything.
Chris over at Complete Offroad hooked it up, got us all these things in the quickness. So I'm really appreciative of that. So it's pretty cool.
I might.
Yes, sir.
He does listen to this podcast,
indeed.
So I might give him a chance to earn my business back.
Okay, maybe.
And I say back because he's lost it at this point.
Because of the BB?
The B word.
The BB. The B word.
The B word.
Don't you say the B word.
Don't you say that B word.
So one cool thing that you may not know, they make a diff cover. I want to say it's called the Defender. I could be wrong.
Like, is it steel?
Nope. It's cast steel.
Okay.
It's not fabricated.
It's not like a
cast.
fab.
Yeah. So check us out though. He put me on hold earlier so he could go check the parts and make sure he had the bearings in stock. Or it was yesterday, I guess it was. And while I was waiting, there was a advertisement, blah blah blah, playing in the background, little B-roll stuff.
Yep.
And she was like, the girl was telling her, was like, ask your sales rep about custom diff covers. Get your logo put on any diff cover. What? I was like, wait a minute, what? And so I got back on the phone. I was asking him, and I guess where they have their diff covers cast at a foundry in Iowa.
Yep.
And if you want, that foundry will make you your own like die.
Bro, that's got to be expensive.
That's what I said. How much is that one-time setup fee? And he's like, well, it depends on what your logo looks like. I'm like, can you give me a ballpark? He wouldn't give me a ballpark.
That means it's expensive.
Like, well, he's like, if you have a logo, send it to me and I'll get you a quote. And I was like, it's just the Total Offroad Podcast logo. Just get it done. Unfortunately,
I bet that's effing expensive.
Oh my God. Dude, if you had your diff covers had your logo on it, so you get a black diff cover in the mail, right? It's already painted. And then you take and you get like a little saucer out, like a baking sheet.
Yep.
And you pour red paint on the baking sheet and you just set the diff cover flat.
And it
with the logo flat into it.
Imprints the logo.
Yeah, and then when you pull it back up, the logo's all red. Would that not be sick?
My wife would be pissed that I just trashed my baking sheets.
Worth
it won't be the first time.
I thought that would be awesome.
Well, that's interesting.
To have like custom diff covers, but here's the only downfall. There's they don't make 14-bolt diff covers.
Well, seemingly lost my business again.
That's what I said. I was like, well, Ian won't be buying any.
Nope.
Yep. They make them in Dana 60, Dana 44, and Dana 30.
They do a 9-inch.
Yeah.
Okay. I realized as soon as I asked the question that was a really stupid question. But to be fair, I've never touched a 9-inch in a Jeep, so
or in a Ford?
Nothing.
Never.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, I think I get a little pass.
Yeah.
But it was still a really stupid question.
Anyway.
So moving on.
Complete
Offroad. Check them out. I will give them a call. I was going to say a quote. I'm like, I'm not giving them a quote. I need to give them a call to get a quote because I need to get some spools. I think I really want to go with a spool versus welding it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this totally goes back on everything that I've said, but just because, but there's really no reason. And maybe here's my thing. Why would I put a spool in instead of welding a 14-bolt?
Reliability. That's about it.
But I mean, I'm a competent welder, so I'm not like I have no questions about my welded diffs. Didn't
you orb of traction derricks?
I don't know. I welded Mike's front. I've welded my fronts, rears. I mean, I've welded axles before. So I don't know, but that's what I mean. Like, there's obviously a reason guys run spools in a rear end over a welded diff, like in the off-road situation. I'm not talking about drag race or anything like that, but like, I don't have any reason against running a welded rear end versus a spool, but like, people do it or they wouldn't make them.
Yeah.
What am I missing? You know what I mean? So.
Well, because it's probably unconventional, and then you're welding to cast. Like, welding the cast
you get the people who are like, do shit the right way. And I'm like, okay, well, go away.
Yeah.
Give me.
Do you see how many right ways I've done things? I got Radflow shocks and Atlas transfer case. I'm
allowed to fucking hack job one or two things. Okay. So that's what I mean. Like, I keep wondering, I have these like moments of like questioning. I'm like, what am I missing in the world of off-road?
$600 in spools.
Or literally like, I could just walk out and weld them right now.
See, this is where I need to be a cabin or a sour patch kid and look at you and be like, spool.
Well, we're gonna spool it one way or another. It's just, do we do it with welding wire or do we do it like the right way?
That's what you would do to me.
Oh yeah. Spool. Well, you weren't gonna put a spool in it at all, so just saying.
I'm gonna sell my Grizzly to a listener.
Get a Yukon?
Huh? It is a Yukon.
So then why would you sell it?
Because it's got a spool.
Oh my god.
You following me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Man,
going down this road again.
You're off of it today.
I had like 3 sips of beer, so I'm pretty much wasted.
You might need to drink more water.
Here's the problem.
What
I
else?
think it's in water because there's White Claws in my beer fridge.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
Did you or did you not read the Shock Bible last night?
The coil over
Bible on Pirate.
Dude.
Okay.
I read this while I was taking a shit. This thing is like,
needed that.
There's no, okay, well, everybody reads on the toilet. So context, you'll understand why in a second.
Okay.
So I'm reading this thing, I'm taking a shit. So I found it. I completely didn't even think to, and I was just Googling some coilover setups.
Mm-hmm.
And I came across that and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this.
There's a Bible.
So I'm going to read it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reading it on the shitter and dude, I'm like, then you're like, legs go to sleep. And then you're like, forget how to walk.
Yeah.
And I'm not even like done with the intro at this point.
Oh yeah.
And my brain already hurts. And I'm like, this was the introduction? What in the hell?
So you stopped reading it.
So I stopped reading it.
And made a post on Instagram.
And no,
instead.
I went back and I read the entire fucking thing twice. I read it twice.
How long is it?
It is. It's not broken up in pages, but it fucking, you scroll for a long fucking time. Because he goes through and gives a definition to every phrase as far as like the shock, the shit, you know, like gives a phrase definition so you know what you're talking. And it was like, dude, information overload, but like, fuck me, bro.
Can you tell me
bad.
about the flutter stack?
Dude, there's so much shit that goes into setting up a suspension that quite honestly, if you read that Bible and you try to go build a 4-link setup, you'll never complete it.
Oh, really?
Because and this is what I've come to realize, that there is no ideal perfect setup in an off-road rig. I don't give a shit if you're putting it in a factory Jeep or a full-blown tube buggy where you can put pretty much anything where you want. There's no ideal setup, because like when you start talking about leaning your shocks in, talking about the leverage forces on the shock and blah, 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 blah. There's no ideal way to make a 4-link work with a coilover mounted in the correct orientation that you want for ideal travel and load and preload and all this, that also keeps a drive line from blowing out from under the vehicle.
Really?
That, oh, by the way, now you got to put on a application that does rock crawling things. So you have to, from my understanding, you're going to have to make some compromises as far as mounting angles and blah, 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 blah. So it's kind of like I feel like there's no perfect setup. It's just getting your setup as good as it can be.
Right.
Whether that's I have mounted my shit wrong. I'm going to maximize how I've mounted my shit wrong.
Yeah.
And then the only option is to just start over, whether that's new tab locations, new suspension design to clear a shock, whatever.
Right.
So there's just no one perfect setup, because then I started watching all of Jake Berkey's tech rod videos, and he starts breaking down all this, the leverage. So if you move the shock forward, and then if you start talking about, and this is just standard mounting a coil over to the axle. Then if you start talking about mounting it on a trailing arm, you've changed all these leverage angles and your preloads and how much this is spring. Because then it starts talking about the spring rates and how much load you want and where you adjust your spring rates. And dude, my brain still hurts from yesterday.
Sounds like it. This plays in really well to what Gary Vee says at the end of his podcast. And that is, doing is always better than reading.
Well, yeah. Because I was to the point the other night, I was like, I'm done.
Yep.
And
not even doing
I'm
this
just
anymore.
scared to like tack weld the freaking shock tab on now, because I'm like, I know it's wrong. Yeah, I can tell you right now it's wrong. But that's, I think, the thing is, you have to take your chassis that is built, whether it's a stock Jeep, a tube buggy, or whatever. And of course, the worst part is I think everybody wants their shit to look good. So you don't want to make a perfect suspension rig that looks like shit.
Right.
You know, like at the end of the day, these rock bouncers, like look at Tim Cameron's buggies.
Oh yeah.
His buggies are 110% purpose built. Right. He builds his buggies every year to push the limits on a race course and take the title home. He doesn't build them to fart around on a weekend. He's not out trail riding because he's bored and doesn't have a race. He's out tuning his suspension for a race. You know, he's not, it's not a dual purpose rig, period. So he builds them to go fast and handle suspension well. But at the end of the day, they all look badass.
Right.
So I don't want to speak for him, but I guarantee you there's a suspension tuning port to that. But there's some element that like, well, if I do this, it'll look a little better because y'all want your shit to look good.
Right.
So that's where I'm like, I'm just going to take my chassis. I'm going to get my shocks mounted at the right angle where I think they're going to be. They're going to look good. They're going to work good. They're going to flex well. They're not going to hit anything. They're not going to bind, so on and so forth. And go, you know what? If I'm out wheeling this and I go, man, the shocks are a little stiff or a little soft, guess what? I'm out wheeling.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, if I have to tune, I watched a video with Jake Berkey. He said on his old Riot buggy, it was a little older video, but he said, I've taken my shocks off the last 2 years, probably 5 or 6 times a year to revalve and to change springs.
Wow.
And I'm like, dude, that's insane. But he brought up the point of literally you have to do that. If you want your suspension to work, it's not a one size bolts on and have a nice day.
Right.
So you've got to. The whole rebuild, I watched some videos on rebuilding coilovers and I'm like, this shit's easy as fuck. Never done it, but it's the concept is simple.
Right.
So it's not some like stuff that you can't figure out or learn. It's just you can't put too much into making it perfect because at the end of the day, there is no such thing as a perfect suspension setup on anything. That's where I've come to, you know, make your shit the best you can and go out and try it.
Yep.
Cut that shit off. I was talking to, I made that Instagram post about it and somebody commented on that they're like, yeah, you know, my buddy's cutting his shit off. And I'm like, yep, I might come back a year from now and cut my shit off and rebuild some stuff. And guess what? You know what? At least I've wheeled it.
That's
so
better than nothing.
That's where I'm at. Like, I spent too much time reading shit about it. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to, as long as they don't bind, they don't clear the hit or, you know, everything looks good.
Right.
I'm just going to send it.
They're at the desired angle.
Yeah.
That Phil told you to set them at.
Yep.
Who wrote the Bible? Was it Phil?
Billa Vista.
Was it Jesus?
Shit, I don't know. If there's one person that could remember all that shit, of course he's got like 18 sources at the bottom of this. So it's not like he just popped this article off out of his ass kind of a thing. But like there is so much detail in that article. It literally, it's too much information.
Yeah.
You literally get 2/3 of the way through that and you're like, I'm just reading fucking words.
You're not supposed to read the entire book at once.
Yeah. There's no way. There's no way. I read the damn thing twice and I'm like, the intro is enough for me.
You're supposed to start building and then when you need help, then you go to the Bible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's insane. I mean, I love it because those old articles are still out there and still being used, obviously.
Surprised that they're still on pirate.
I mean, the thing is, I fell into it of, damn, I don't know what I'm doing. I should just drop this shit off at a suspension guru.
Yeah.
And like, here, you do it.
Just do it.
Okay.
You're not fucking racing.
Find the principles of it and let it go. Yeah. I mean, even if you are racing with it.
Yeah.
It's the same principles. Make sure it clears.
Yep.
Make sure it flexes. Make sure it's limit strapped so it doesn't overextend a shock. Make sure your U-joints don't bind. And send it down the road.
And make sure your tabs are fully welded.
Yeah. That's important. I've never had a shock tab. 4-link tab? Yes. Shock tab? No.
Always full welded.
It wasn't the 4-link tab. It was the 4-link bar that the entire lower frame side mount ripped out of the chassis because it wasn't fully welded.
In case you guys are new and don't know, Ian is Mr. Tack Life.
I have given that title up. I still own it.
You're now Mr. Full Weld Life?
Yeah.
Okay.
My problem is I have like ADD or something. And I'm like, I'm going to weld here. I'm going to weld there. And I'm like, hey, stupid, start here, end there, and weld all the shit in the middle, you know? So on this chassis, I was going through like circling and like weld here with paint pen and stuff.
Yes. I like it.
I spent like a couple hours of cumulative of just walking, like looking around, touching tubes and making sure everything was welded.
Did you see the Suburban from Reckless Wrench? Did you share it? Somebody shared it. Didn't we share it on the TOP page?
Maybe.
It's a Suburban and it has, I'm pretty sure I shared it. it has PVC link bars.
Oh, yes.
Did you see that?
Dude.
Did you read
Did you read the comments on it?
Yeah.
There were people that got angry. And I love the internet for that because I'm like, okay, special people, if you read the article, that's very, very short and very easy to read.
Yeah.
The guy painted his links to look like a piece of PVC. But wait, there's more because he had the words printed on the link. But wait, there's more. He painted between the Heim inserts and the tube end. He painted like this pinkish purple stuff that the pipe glue is that color.
And the welds.
Yes. And I'm like, this guy did not just paint his shit white and oh my gosh, PVC. He has got the words printed on it. He's got the PVC cement glue or the weld with the inserts welded in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it looks awesome as shit. This is like awesome. 3 sentences to figure this info out. And people were so pissed. They're like, why the fuck are you doing PVC? And
I didn't read it.
So you were one of those people.
Well, no.
Well, you didn't comment.
I was in shock and awe as to what was going on. But I was like doing like scrolling through the photos, like enjoying it.
Yep.
And I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, so like, I think it's like, I'm like, wait a minute. So is it PVC? I'm like, what is going on here? And so like at first I thought like I figured they painted them white. I'm like, that looks awesome with the words on it. Like, that's cool. And I didn't really read the words on the tube.
Yep.
And then I was kind of like, oh, it looks awesome, man. Like thought he had like a sentence down there, or whatever. And then kind of just scrolling along, and I just liked the way it looked. And I loved how all the welds were painted pink.
Yep.
And I was like, that's cool. And then as I kept scrolling, I'm like, how's it flexed out on PVC? What is going on here?
What
and then I scrolled back to the top and I read the article. I was like, that's badass.
Now
did you read the PVC print on it?
I did not.
It says Reckless Wrench PVC, and then it has the actual like rundown of the PVC that they used to mock it up.
See, that's what I figured. He just used like copied whatever it said, but I love that he customized it
instead of being like the manufacturer. This is like Reckless Wrench PVC.
That is awesome.
It's sick.
I love it. He literally broke the internet with a paint job on a link bar for cripe's sakes. Like, it's so cool.
If you guys want to see that, go over to the Total Offroad podcast page on Facebook, just the normal page.
Yeah.
And check it out because I posted it there.
It's awesome.
It's so awesome.
The other thing that made me think of this while you were talking about that, I have now forgot.
Okay. So on to the next thing, and you'll remember. When I get my gears for my axles, the 9-inch will be fairly easy to set up, but I'm in a bit of a dilemma. Do I buy all the tools to set up the front diff and then spend all my time dicking with it in and out, because it's going to take several times in and out of the carrier to set it up, make my own setup bearings and all that nonsense? Or do I pull the big jack stands out from the backyard, set it up on the big jack stands, yank the 44 out because the 44 is already empty and torn down, take it over to a local shop that possibly does gear installs, and just have them do it?
How much that cost?
Kirk had his done there and was happy with the results. And I feel like he's an engineer, so he should be somewhat picky.
He is very meticulous.
He's meticulous.
Not in a bad way.
No, in a good way. Like his Jeep is beautiful.
His Jeep is reliable as shit.
Stupid reliable.
He's pulled my shit more than one pieces of shit onto a trailer.
Really?
Of mine. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
So he has that. Like this guy is just, it's all kind of, he's good. He's meticulous at what he does, and he takes his time to calculate what he needs. But anyway, he had them set up his Dana 70 with his ARB and everything, and was happy with the results. So I'm like, all right. And he thought it costed somewhere between $200 and $250 for setup.
So what tools do you need?
I need the cheap tools.
So hold on. What axle are you setting up?
The Dana 44 in the front.
Yep. For those that don't know.
And the cheap tools are I just forgot it. Well, I need a torque wrench. So I need a dial style torque wrench.
Half inch, or I don't have a dial style.
3/8.
I have the preload types, but okay.
Maybe it'll probably be a 3/8 because of the size.
To do preload.
Yeah, do preload.
Yep.
You need that. You need a dial indicator to set your backlash.
Okay.
And possibly you could do a pinion depth tool if you wanted to. The biggest thing is, do I buy the two main tools or build one of them? One is a clamshell puller to pull the old bearings off so you can make your setup bearings.
Yep.
And then the other tool is a case spreader that you use to spread the case, so it's easier to get your carrier in and out when you're trying to do that. So, tool wise, just the regular tools, you're probably under 100.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it'd be
If you need the
terrible.
clamshell puller, they're like 250.
You couldn't buy one of those at Harbor Freight for cheap as shit.
It'll be garbage.
Well, that's fine. It only has to work twice.
You hope. The power steering puller that I bought from them, same like concept.
Yep.
Broke it.
Can you rent one?
I don't know.
From the tool store?
I don't know. So I might need to look into that. And then I'm like, that's the thing. So you spend $150 in tools, and then you spend 15 hours trying to figure out how to set it up because you don't know what you're doing.
It's up to you.
I know. But I'm leaning towards, I'm going to get a quote from them guys and see what it costs. If it's like $200, I may just save the money and just go do that. And then I know it's done by somebody who's done it more than once. And here's the other key point to that. If I pull the Dana 44 out, then that means that all of that's open now and the axle's gone. I can literally bring a welder over and weld my frame stiffeners on the front of the frame. That's kind of the highlight.
Sounds like we're getting farther apart, which I like because that's what I usually do. I'm like, well, God, I'm having like flashbacks over here.
It had an axle in it, but now it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, but it would be nice to have the rest of the frame stiffeners on it.
Well, that's where I was going to say, well, why are you taking it apart? I'm like, well, that is a good point.
Yeah. Well, and like it's like 6 bolts to pull the Dana 44 out.
Well, here's what I have to throw out there is this is my opinion for you. Not to pop your bubble, but you have a baby now. Yes. Congratulations again. Mm-hmm. But you're probably not going to go wheeling next week.
Definitely not next week.
So, you know what I mean? Like,
if it's apart, it's not hurting anybody.
It's not a bad time to do that. And it's kind of one of those, like, it's the axle's already torn apart. Yep. So it's like, it's not that, like you said, it's like 4, 5, 6 bolts, whatever.
Yep. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, it's already in pieces. So
you're going to want to put it all back together to take it apart just to put those frame stiffeners on? No.
Negative.
So you just won't do it?
Well, no, I would just jack it up and roll the assembly out.
Well, either way, it's right there.
But right now,
and you're not going to wheeling next week.
I'm not going wheeling. I'm guessing July.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're not going for wheeling for a while. I'm just saying probably not in the next couple of weeks.
That's what I'm guessing. Yeah,
realistically,
I still need to buy things that I need to buy. A new computer.
Yep. Not for the Jeep, like a PC.
Like a PC.
Yeah, I don't want somebody like, well, he need a computer for his Jeep for.
No, thank God.
No, not that one.
I am glad I didn't need that because the fucker's made out of unobtainium.
So it's more expensive than your awesome video editing computer?
No, it's like $300 some though for a piece of shit that doesn't like know what it's doing.
Doesn't do anything.
Yeah. But anyway, I want to buy a new PC so I can edit video, so I can kind of get more videos up. One for the Total Offroad Podcast YouTube page, and then also the Low Key page.
Yep.
That I think I'm going to rename Low Key TV.
I like that.
Me too. I feel like I'm jocking some people's style, but...
Yep, but you know what?
I like it.
Welcome. That's what you get for having cool shit.
Right?
Copycats.
I'm going to paint my shit blue too.
Yeah. You nailed the color. Just keep it with that one. You said the good B word. You didn't say that naughty one.
Computer, gears, Fodies. I need to put a transmission in a pickup truck. I need, what else was it? Oh, I would love to do the quarter panels on the Jeep while it's just sitting there doing nothing. Like, it'd be a good time to start getting that stuff starting to get mocked together. Oh, I want to put the rockers underneath of it, which I have the stuff for that, but I'd like to put the new 2x6 rockers under it.
Oh, I thought you meant like sheet metal rockers. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be sick that day. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna get that COVID and I'm gonna be out for 30 days, and you're gonna be like 31 days. Be like, all right, we're gonna do the sheet metal, and I'm like, caught that shit again.
Still sick.
Hell no.
No. I thought you meant you're gonna be sick the day I take it out on the trail and destroy the brand new rockers.
No, I'm all for that. I love it when people fuck up fresh sheet metal.
Yeah,
but like sheet metal work is horrible.
There's just a beautiful sound of a perfect piece of sheet metal being destroyed.
Well, the best part is when the guy starts losing his shit that he just like the third dent, you don't give a shit about. The first one, you are really mad. The second one, you're disappointed in your driving ability. The third one, you're like, I'm going to hit that tree and hit a fourth one.
If I put the 2x6 rockers in it, 4 new doors. The fenders have already been replaced once.
Mm-hmm.
And I put the sheet metal quarter skins on. The only dents in the Jeep at this point will be the roof line, the drip rail, back by the back windows is all destroyed from getting into trees.
Could you do the, you remember that we went on the XJ, the Naxter run and saw that guy had like the tube drip rail? That was slick as shit.
My cousin swears that he could pull that drip rail out, but like the drip rail on the passenger side by the back window is crushed the entire length of the window, and it's probably pushed in 1.5 inches.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I was in that tree hard.
I was all in the tree.
I was in that tree so hard that the edge, there was some little stick-ups sticking out of the tree there.
Yep.
They were dragging down the window.
Huh.
They were dragging down that window so hard. I was in the driver's seat, like kind of holding my hood up, like I was ducking because I knew the window was going to get blown out here in a second, but I didn't have a choice. I was wedged.
Yep.
And it sounded like you were dragging a scribe down a piece of sheet metal, or not sheet metal, down a piece of like
glass or whatever.
like down a piece of like 1/2-inch plate.
Ugh.
That's how like bad it was.
Ooh.
There are scratches in the window, glass. In the glass. Huh. I don't know if it's from like the rocks that were in the mud or if it's from that tree. Like the tree itself was like that hard against that glass.
No,
you could see it flexing. I was like, oh God, this is not going to end well.
Come on, I don't want to buy a window.
I had spare windows.
Yeah, but
that's the good thing. Like I've had so many Cherokees now that I have like so many spare parts. Today I was looking at doors. I walked out back. I was like, how many doors do I have? And I walked out there and I think it's 9.
That makes
9
sense.
doors to choose from.
Yeah, because why would you have an odd number of doors?
Because
that makes good sense.
The Jeep came with 3 doors.
Oh, it's even more. Yeah, that makes sense because
it came with 3 spare doors and a hatch.
Okay.
And then I bought
3 spare doors. 3 spare doors. Hey, I got 3 doors. Yeah, isn't it a 4-door? Yeah, but I got 3 of them.
Yeah, because like the one driver's door or something was different, or I don't remember what it was. So whatever it is, he didn't have it. And then I bought another Jeep for the engine, and the guy had already taken 1 door off, and then threw it in the Jeep and was like, "Fuck this thing, you can have it." And so we took all 4 doors off that and saved those because they were the sport doors. They had all manual doors.
Yep.
And then I pulled the quarter of the back glass out of the back of it, pulled the hatch off of it, the hood. I think I took the fenders too.
So you got like
I did take the
XJ fenders. Junkyard.
Behind the shed, I've got a plethora of sheet metal. Is what I have. I have everything except for a header panel and fenders for a 97 and up. So, but anyway, at any rate, that's kind of what I was thinking about with the Dana 44 is pull it out, do the frame stiffeners all the way to the front. Then those are done. Now it's fully stiffened. I don't have to worry about that.
I would drop your axle off and then do the stiffeners while they're doing your axle. That's and then you kill 2 birds with 1 stone and you're not fucking up the important part.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Done.
Sound like a good idea?
I like it.
Me too. What else you got?
Well, I'm glad you're doing stuff because I ain't done shit.
I got bearings. Today I worked. That was good.
How's the baby going?
Good.
For those who are curious.
Yeah, because some of them are. They've messaged me.
Yep.
Baby's going good.
I know the last couple times I've talked to you on the phone, I hear a crying baby.
Yeah, that does happen from time to time.
It's
usually diaper changes.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he's been too fussy. Jess said he was pretty fussy today when I was out there working in the garage. He was kind of not sleeping real well.
Pissed because he's not in the garage.
That could be.
You know, he knows.
And but other than that, I mean, I don't know. She does such a good job with him. Like, it just makes my life easy.
That's what my wife does for me.
All I got to do is.
And we don't even have a child. She has me to deal with, so it's probably worse.
That's what I told Jess. I was like, well, now you got 2 kids.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to help out as best I can around the house. Just kind of pick up where she can't, right now. She's just too busy with him.
Yeah.
So like laundry and dishes and shit like that.
Awesome.
Yep.
I don't know. I had another question, but I don't know what it was.
You were terrible today.
It was like the 3rd time. Anyway, I'm glad you're doing stuff because I have not done a damn thing.
I haven't done a lot, but I'm like making plans.
Yeah.
To do things.
Well, I was waiting on paint supplies to do the Raptor liner.
Yes.
Waiting on shock tabs.
Uh-huh.
I have all that now.
Oh. And didn't do a damn thing.
Seemingly, I'm like, oh, I have all these parts, but I haven't done shit. So my plan this weekend is supposed to be like, holy shit progress weekend. So I'm going to get my shocks mounted. I'm going to get my sway bar mounted.
When did you paint it?
Last weekend.
So you put the hammer paint. How much did you do? Just that little bit on the front?
The whole chassis.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So the whole chassis has been hammer painted.
Yep.
I'm going to go back out and look at that again.
The only spots that I didn't paint were where the shock tabs go on the chassis and where the rear carrier bearing hanger tube is mounting.
I walked out in the garage and it smelled like paint.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And because I was like getting ready to bump into the buggy because there's things all around and I'm wide.
Well, I'm right there with you. I just rubbed my ass all up on them 43s.
And I was like, I stopped and I looked down at the paint and it was like so shiny.
Yeah.
Like so glossy. I was like, is it wet? And I'm like, where do I touch it to find out if it's wet?
I'd touch it right on the top of the tube.
I did.
A thumbprint on it.
I like ever so gently touched it and it didn't stick to it. I was like, and I rubbed on it. I was like, okay, it's hard.
Yeah, it was last weekend, I think.
Okay.
I spilled about a half of a quart of paint on the garage floor.
Nice. Did you leave it hammered?
Pissed. Yeah, for about an hour.
Oh.
And then I calmed down and came back and had to clean up my mess. I was being an asshole and my wife went and got us dinner. And then I had like literally just laid under this thing with a paintbrush and the can of paint. And she calls and I was like,
and that's what you spilled it?
So I crawled back. No. So I crawled back out and I was like, what's up? And she, she's picking up, I don't know what the fuck we had. We had something for dinner. Yeah. And, so I was like, shit, when she gets home with that, I'm going to have to eat. So like, I'm going to get this shit done. Cause this was the day 2 of painting. The first one was doing like the top and then I missed a few spots on the bottom. So I'm laying under this thing and I sort of,
cause you're brushing it on.
Yeah. And it was a bad day for me. Because it's one of those days like every time you touch something, you fuck it up. Well, I'd go to start painting something and then I'd fucking get a drip of enamel paint down my arm. Yeah. Well, then, you'd take a rag and you'd smear it and then you're like, fuck. And then it's dripping all over and you put your elbow in the paint. And the next thing you know, because you're trying to hurry. And I'm like, I should have just stopped. But I was like, I'm going to slide because I had a piece of cardboard I was laying on. I'm going to slide up to the front and I'm going to do this right around the exhaust. And then I'm going to go eat. She'd been there for like 3 or 4 minutes. And so I grabbed that cardboard and winged it up there and knocked the paint can over. Fuck. It was like half a quart of paint, which like doesn't sound like a lot until you've got a half a quart of paint on your friggin' garage concrete. And you're like, son of a, I was pissed. But I'm like, what the fuck how do you clean that up?
I don't know.
I didn't have floor dry. I didn't have any spill mat or anything like that.
Floor dry or spill mat's a good option.
Well, what do you do? Like, what do you pick? Because this shit's like slowly expanding over the floor. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I grabbed
a little hand squeegee.
Bro,
about 6-inch hand squeegee.
I don't, because I just whip one of those out. So I grabbed some paper towels and I like dammed it up around the outside. Yes. And then I was like, fuck this. I'm eating dinner. So I went in, like stripped all my clothes and my paint off. Yeah. Then I got fucking paint on my chair. Because I had some on my elbow I couldn't see.
On your chair you love so much?
Yes. Okay. It's customer now. So then I was sick. I got done with eating. I was probably just hangry. Yeah. And I got done eating and I was like, yeah, so there's about half a quart of paint that I got to go clean up on the floor. I'm not really sure how to do it. And she's like, well, we have some napkins left over, those little like cocktail napkins from our wedding. We had like a metric fuckload of them. And I said, well, you don't need those for anything? She's like, well, no, I mean, we kept them, but we don't really need them for anything. So she's like, you can use them as you want. I'm like, all right. So I grabbed like a plastic sack and I just start like wiping fucking paint with gloves on, just paper towels. It was bad.
One after another.
And then Brake cleaned it. And then wiped it up. And honestly, I was out there the other day and I'm like, you couldn't even tell there's pens. This is clean now. Yeah. And I was impressed. I was like, well, I'll be damned.
Did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was not fun. It was annoying, but you know what? Welcome to being adult.
And that paint's not cheap either.
Nah. No. It's not.
But it looks good on the, on the frame. I like that hammered look.
It looks like powder coat to me. Yeah. It looks close enough for my budget.
Yep.
And the nice part is there's some spots where I, put the winch on and off and nicked the paint and some tube work and stuff. I just red Scotch-Brite it, brush over it, and it blends real nice with that hammered tone. You can't even tell.
So how nice is that going to be when you get the cab all raptored and get it put on and you get everything done and you back it out of the garage and you're like, okay, You go over and you grab what's left of your quart of hammered paint.
Yep.
You bust out your detail brush.
Yeah.
And you go around and you just kind of go through and just touch everything up. Like, all right, this needs touched up. That needs touched up. That's cool. Like, and then you bump it on a tree and you're like, oh,
yeah,
brush that off. Like,
well, that's why I decided to go against powder coat. And I've always been anti powder coat for rock crawlers because, dude, you're going to drag it over rocks.
People
and
just usually just color match paint it after
yeah,
that.
but why not just paint it to begin with?
I don't know.
Powder coat is not cheap.
No.
I've never had anything powder coated.
Did Waffle get his powder coated or was it painted?
I don't remember. I want to say it was powder coated. Yeah, it was powder coated.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it looked good.
It looks great.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm like with this shit. I drag it over stuff and I literally just red Scotch Brite and then just brush over it and you can't even tell.
That's awesome.
And it's like $20-something a quart. Which is bad compared to powder coat. But I also got some flat black enamel that I'm gonna do the axles and the link bars with. I'm gonna brush it on too. I'm tired of spray painting shit. I got orange overspray on my axles and I got black overspray on my orange and all that. So I was like, I'm gonna start brushing my stuff.
I knew I was feeling low.
Getting low over there in your low
down.
key.
I think my seat's going down.
Losing pressure.
I think it does. I think it loses pressure on its own. That's okay.
But yeah, so I'm going to brush my axles and link bars with some flat black enamel. See what it looks like.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's cheap.
That'll work. Yeah.
But that's my plan is to get some shocks mounted up and get the sway bar mounted up and then push that SOB outside. And then I'm going to pull the cab in. I've said this like 3 weeks in a row.
So what do you think?
I'm going to actually do it this weekend.
You think the listeners are actually getting tired of us not having rigs actually four-wheeling? I can tell you this much.
Here's all I got to say about it, but go ahead.
I can tell you this much. The followers on Instagram, they definitely like the wheeling pics more than the not wheeling pics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I posted that circa 2010.
That was a nice looking
photo.
picture, yeah.
It was a nice photo. I posted that up and it's got over 200 likes on it, which I mean, okay, it's not a lot. It's not a lot, but
it's enough for me.
It's more than most of my things to get.
Yep.
So what is this? Oh, let me get one of them Unicorn hardcore stickers, please.
Do you know I had to start my own podcast to get this fucking sticker, okay?
That was that D-Man Blues Freak sent me a text that just said that. Let me get one of them Yukon hardcore stickers at wink face. No.
How much is it worth to you?
Priceless.
Is it?
$300?
Well, that's the way I look at it.
Well, you asked how the baby was doing. I'm just looking at my phone here and I got a text from Jess and she said he's still awake at 10:21. And I left the house at not quite 8 o'clock and he was eating. So he's been up for over 2 hours. That's not good.
You're going to have to go take over.
Well, yeah, that's probably going to happen. So
what?
No long time hanging out after the podcast.
No. Married life.
Baby life.
Yeah, that's a baby life.
Another thing that I was thinking about, if I take the Dana 44 out, then the link bars are just willy-nilly there.
Didn't you say you wanted to replace some bushings in those?
Yep.
Was that where you're going?
Nope.
Did I just steal your thunder? I apologize.
But if I if I take that out, if I do the front stiffeners, if I do the front stiffeners, then I need to either mock or do the center stiffeners. One would think it would make sense just to do the damn center stiffeners because they're really easy compared to like the rest of the stiffeners.
Yep.
So you pull the transmission crossmember and the 4-link setup because the 4-link, the long arm from Rusty's bolts through the frame and it's all like part of the unibody kind of right there.
So
you have to pull that off to put your stiffeners on.
Okay.
If I'm doing all of that, once I get done putting the stiffeners on, I may as well consider putting link tabs on the stiffeners. Right?
I mean, at this point, you might as well just call up Josh and get a tube chassis going. That way, when you're at this point, seriously.
Yeah.
When you get to this point, because I agree with this, it makes sense to do all this shit. So once you get to the point of like, I'm going to put my link tabs on, and then you're going to be laying under there one day like, boy, it sure would be nice to not have that in the way and have a tube over there.
I'm not doing it.
Josh will be done with your chassis by then.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Oh. You call him tonight
and
on
start
the way home, get this started. Then when because it's going to happen, you're going to get to that point and then you're going to call me and you're going to be like, fuck you. You were right. And I'm like, bro, it's okay. Because you remember you called Josh at Wolf Fab Works and he's got your chassis. He'll be done tomorrow. Because that's what happened to me.
Best advertisement ever.
Been there. Done that. Josh appreciates your business. I can tell they have right now. He appreciates it.
He's in the truck. I'm getting a Snapchat in real world time, not podcast time. No, in podcast time. Which one is it?
It will be podcast time.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I'll be getting a Snapchat when he listens to this part.
He's gonna love it. He's gonna be yeah.
Yeah, he'll be. I will. Yes.
At this point, money's
Josh.
no object.
Appreciate the Snapchat
because we've preemptively come to the conclusion that he's gonna spend all the money when he gets to this point anyway. So when you tell him tonight on your way home, just tell him you don't have a budget.
Budgetless.
Yeah, because when you get to this point, I don't know, a couple of weeks from now,
you're
gonna be like, I don't fucking care how much it costs. I'm
free.
done. I want a tube chassis. So you just tell him now that you don't care how much it costs, and he gives you some fucking crazy shit
number or whatever. He just builds you whatever.
Yeah, he just builds you some crazy shit. You don't even know what you're gonna get,
and then it's on payments.
It's great.
And then I just pay you and take him his package.
That's perfect. Seemingly, I think I just made money tonight. I don't know how that worked, but I like it.
So,
well, Fab works.
I was thinking the crossmember from Rusty's has the link tabs already on it, so I could actually utilize those if I wanted to.
Oh, really? So you don't actually have to put link tabs with that.
But when I put the stiffeners on, I have to figure out how to put
reconfigure out. I like that. That's fucking awesome.
And that's what happens when you're building something.
I have to unfuck it. Yes. Reconfigure it out. That's awesome as shit. That's a new word. Trademarked. Total Off-Road Podcast owns
reconfigure out. I have to, the way that it's built right now, the crossmember, if I remember right, the crossmember slides into the chain, like the piece of frame that bolts to the unibody right now. So like it all bolts together right now.
Okay.
So I think that I have to like take it apart, and then when I build the stiffeners, put those on, I have to figure out how to put the crossmember back up and tie it back into the stiffeners. That might be tricky.
How much of a shitty idea is it just to 4-link it and be done with it?
Well, that's what I was getting to.
Okay.
So like if I was to rebuild that crossmember and kind of rebuild it so the crossmember spreads the weight across the stiffeners, then I can do just that, where I can put the crossmember back in and put tabs on top of the crossmember for the 4-link.
Okay.
And then,
or you just bypass all that shit, sell the lift 4-link and be done. Like,
still have no transmission crossmember?
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like I can build a new transmission crossmember out of tube, that's not a problem.
Yeah, those are
But I have to figure out how to get all the link tabs and everything like that on there.
Okay.
There's some things.
It's a Jeep. They don't sell like a kit for that.
Yeah, Iron Rock sells a couple crossmember. I think Iron Rock Offroad sells a crossmember where you can put you have to weld it all together yourself anyway.
Yeah.
So you can it's a 3-link crossmember,
okay,
but you have the option to put a 3-link on the driver's side or the passenger side, depending on how much room you have. And so if you just order extra tabs, you can just put them on both sides and then
have a 4-link.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jake Berkey supports your 4-link plans.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
So
I want to 4-link it. I just have to figure it out while I'm under there. If I put the tabs on the crossmember or at the crossmember, somewhere in that region, if the tabs are in there, then all you gotta do is figure out where it's mounted on the axle and how it's gonna clear. Call it a day.
Yep.
Seems easy.
Well, it does. It always sounds easier sitting not in the garage.
Want a little happy kicker?
Yep.
I may or may not have 4-link bars sitting in the shed.
Oh my god. Somebody just holy shitted while they
I don't remember. They're quarter wall, but I don't remember if they're 1.5 or 2-inch diameter.
Either way, they'll be fine. They're short links, though.
No.
Yeah, they're inches. Not that long.
40 inches.
No, they're 40. Your lowers are 40?
Right now, the lowers are 37 eye to eye.
Jeez, I wouldn't have thought they were that long.
Something like that.
Huh.
I think it's there.
I put a drive shaft or rear drive shaft in a YJ once, and I was like, this thing's like a fucking 6 inches long.
Well, that's a completely different animal.
Well, I know. That's my only Jeep wheelbase knowledge that I have. And I'm like, this shit. No wonder nobody breaks a drive shaft. It's fucking sick. The U-joints are touching.
So that was one of the things with doing links on our link mounts on the stiffeners would be that you could then put the trailing arm, not trailing arms. You could put the lower link bars wherever you wanted.
Yeah.
If you want them 45 inches long, no problem.
Yeah.
do that and
Okay.
order your link
I
bars.
thought they would be much shorter than that.
They're not. They're.
Okay.
I was shooting. I think they're right now. They're like 37 inches eye to eye.
All right.
I think I'm shooting for like 40 something
Okay.
when it's all said and done. But we'll see.
So you want probably a 2-inch lower,
Yeah.
steel lower.
Ideally, well,
Okay.
ideally, I want a 2-inch aluminum lower. But
You don't think you need like a 2 1/4?
I mean, yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
I was gonna do. I think I was actually gonna do a 2.5. Lower.
You don't need a 2 1/2
No,
lower.
it was a 2 1/4.
I watched a video.
Go listen to one of the episodes when we talked about aluminum links. I told you all
Yeah.
about it. Did
I
you
watched a
remember?
video last night with Jake Berkey talking
Mhm.
about different sizes aluminum links, and pretty much the general consensus is you want 2 1/2, 2 1/4,
2 1/4. That's a good
2 or
number.
2 1/4. You
I think
could
it was-
probably get away with 2,
Yeah.
but he made the comment that you're gonna buy them. Why not buy
Yeah.
them? Like
It's
theoretically,
like $20
you can
difference.
still fuck up an aluminum link.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a cool video if you do though. You know what I mean? Like
You
it's
hope
not
somebody's
easy.
recording.
So that's what I mean. Like
Right.
you might as well do a 2 1/4 over a 2,
I'm pretty
but
sure
you
that's
definitely
what
don't need a 2 1/2. Like 2 1/2 is fucking massive.
I had it priced out. It was like $500-$600 for all of them.
That's
I
not
think
bad.
that was for a 3-link. But even still,
Yeah, it's still not horrible.
no. And like, you don't have to do your uppers out of aluminum if you don't want to. Nobody sees them.
Yeah.
It could be steel. It's an option. You could do it all out of steel and then later buy aluminum. It's,
That's what
you
I've
know,
done.
Is what it is.
I found out actually today that you can buy aluminum sway bar links.
Do I paint them blue or do I paint them gold?
The link bars,
Yes, sir.
get them anodized.
What? The steel ones. If I made them out of DOM.
sorry.
If
Aluminum.
if they're aluminum, I'm polish them.
Yeah,
obviously.
well, yeah, you do know a guy.
Yeah.
You know yourself.
Not that I want to do it, but
You're gonna do mine
yeah. You gonna do aluminum links? Nice.
someday.
Someday.
I mean, here's the problem. I've got longer links. I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but they're longer, so they're gonna bend. They're 2-inch,
Yeah.
1/4-inch wall DOM. They're gonna bend. I mean, it's a fact. So eventually, I'm gonna have to step up 2 1/2-inch aluminum lowers,
Mhm.
probably a 2-inch upper.
2.5-inch lower?
Yeah,
Oh, fancy.
or 2 1/4.
Yeah, somewhere.
I was on so Summit Machine Summit Machine,
Yeah.
something like that.
Mhm.
Summit. She was saying on Facebook today that she sent a link. It was a 2 1/4, and it was bent. He
Yeah.
was doing some Ultra Force
Really?
prep, King of Hammers prep and stuff.
She
That,
got me a quote.
yeah,
Mhm.
pretty good prices.
Not bad.
Yeah. So anyway,
I
she
think Sunfire was better.
the localer.
Yeah,
I
I think he got me a better price.
don't know.
And then obviously the best price I think I found online was
Wide open.
yeah, I think so.
The best part is there's options.
Oh yeah.
But-
you can choose whatever you want.
So she posted a picture today of a bent 2 1/4 link.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, he's doing some Ultra for King of Hammers prep,
Mhm.
prep stuff. And so she was
How do you
sending
use
him
prep?
2.5
Uh-huh.
inch aluminum links. And she said she has never had anyone bend one of her 2.5
Well, 'cause,
aluminum links.
yeah, like
It's fucking huge.
yeah,
It makes your 1.25 heim look like a
2.5.
3-inch or 3/4 heim.
like
It's-
2.5 inch
It's
diameter.
fucking solid. 70, I think it's 70,
that pop,
75.
that's bigger than that pop can.
Yeah. Bro, it's cool as shit.
That's big.
They were beef.
That's probably 3-inch,
Yeah.
maybe.
I don't know.
Where's the tape measure?
They're massive. Tape measure assistant. Oh yeah, we don't have
Tape
one of those.
measure assistant.
I had to try it. You never know.
Trail Bob, go get this. Go get the tape measure.
Fetch. But yeah, so I think I would probably go 2.5
Mm-hmm.
lowers. If you bend a
I'll
2-inch,
probably
1/4-inch
go-
wall
I think I'll probably
DOM,
go- Oh yeah.
I got a long wheelbase.
I think what I've got now is 2-inch, and I did bend one of them,
Yeah.
but I bent it by dropping the Jeep on it.
Well, yeah, but
So
that's
it's different.
you're gonna do it again.
Yeah. So probably go 2-inch quarter wall or 2.5 or 2 1/4 quarter wall, something silly.
Yep.
But we'll see.
But yeah, I found out you can do sway bar links, custom aluminum sway bar links,
Mhm.
and you can also
Summit?
do
Mhm.
tie rods for like my hydro steering.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, man, it'd be cool to get some engraved. She does laser engraving with
Yeah.
the dime piece.
They're not
in 'em.
laser. They're not laser engraved. They're ball mill engraved.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I just assumed they were a laser
Fancy.
engraver.
I think I'm pretty sure hers were the ball mill.
I don't honestly know. I just know that they're fucking exciting looking when I see all these pictures. I'm like,
Yeah. They're so pretty. Yeah. The Summit ones, because I asked her, I was like, can I get these engraved? And she's like, oh, yeah. I was like, sweet. So I considered it. I don't remember how much more she was than everybody else. It was like, well, maybe $100 difference.
Yeah.
For everything.
That's not bad.
No. And that might have been with Heims too. So, and, you know, she might have gave better Heim prices. I don't remember. But either way, she does good work. And I think her turnaround time's good. She is it, what's her name? Julene?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's something like that. But she's highly recommended on the internet on some of the other pages. Did you get added to the new page on Facebook? Hold on. Let's start the next segment. That's your cue.
I think it's time for last call.
Okay.
Let's
Last call it is.
ready to close it down. What are we drinking today? You gonna tell me about it, or you want me to tell them about it?
It's tasty. I had one at home.
Bro, this is a damn. I pre-tried it.
This one's so good that I brought Ian an entire can to himself.
Yeah, we're drinking a big boy cup. That's why I'm forgetting shit.
Yeah.
Tell them about the world and let me give this thing a sample.
Okay. So it is.
Before you start, that smells effing amazing.
Oh, you still have a full one. Mine's almost empty. I've been drinking it the entire episode. Sorry, guys.
I waited because I'm a do-gooder.
Yours is going to be actual, like, proper drinking.
Perfect.
Quote unquote proper drinking temperature.
Perfect temp. It's been aromatic releasing.
For you listeners out there that are anti-craft beer, I'm sorry about your luck.
I got a Busch Light fridge too, folks. Okay. We're not beer snobs. We just like nice shit. Okay.
Just like tasty shit.
I appreciate Busch Light just as much as I am about to appreciate this beer.
I don't appreciate Busch Light, but Busch Latte Girl. But Busch Latte Girl is basically my sister. Just saying.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Took a second for that to register. Now, yes.
Do you know who Busch Latte?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you met Busch Latte Girl?
No.
Oh, okay. Have you seen her on the interwebs?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of Jessica's best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
Yep.
Anyway, we support Busch Light. At least I do.
Yeah, you do.
Steve kind of
I'm just not a lager guy.
Well, that's fine.
Like, that's what I learned.
Do you like a light beer at all? Like, what's your go-to shitty light beer?
Miller.
Okay, so that's on the same.
Yeah.
That's actually a little higher than Busch Light. Like, I feel fancier when I'm drinking a Miller Lite. It's the can. It's the aluminum can over the piece of shit dented Busch Light can. It's the Miller Lite that I'm like, yeah, I got the nice can, bitch.
The thing of it is that I used to drink Bud Light, Coors Light, and all that stuff and frown upon Miller Lite. Like, wow, that Miller Lite, that piss water. Back when I was going to the bar all the time. And then something changed somewhere in there, and like Bud Light and the lagers, the American lagers, started like, I'd drink one, and then I would like, my nose would stuff up, and I like started having like kind of almost a reaction to it.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm over this. I'm not drinking this.
This is not enjoyable.
And so I switched over to wine.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was drinking wine when I got married in 2016. I was like
on the wine kick. Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing dry reds that was my jam.
Yeah, and I don't know fuck all about wine.
Walk around and be like, beers for peasants. Fucking kings
I drink
wine.
my red wine.
Kings drink wine.
Yeah.
And then you two chuckle fucks got me sucked into craft beer. And I was
You're
like, holy
welcome.
crap. The thing that I like most about quote unquote craft beer, small breweries that brew all types of beer. The thing I like most about it is it's like drinking pop. You can drink, there's so many different flavors.
Yep.
So back to where we started this. Today we're drinking Pipeworks Brewery out of Chicago. It is their Hardcore Normcore is the name of the beer. It's a brown ale with coffee. If you like coffee in your beer, this is your jam. It drinks like a brown ale, but it has this nice coffee kick. The coffee is from Dark Matter Coffee, which I believe is out of Chicago as well.
Did you just say it drinks like a brown ale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it is a brown ale?
Well, yeah, that's... With no fucking shit, you know? Oh, it drinks like a brown ale. And I was like, wait a second, let me spin this can around. It's because it is a brown ale. I mean, glad it drinks like it's supposed to.
It's fact.
I mean, I get where you were going with that.
Had beers that don't.
Yeah, because there are like crap beer like that does not taste like that. But like this time, no, you nailed it.
What would you say? What is a mainstream brown ale? Can you think of one? No, you can't.
No, not really.
I know they're out there, but can't think of what they are. It's like an amber lager.
Yeah.
It's like something similar to that. Anyway, That's what we're drinking. It's really good. That's why I brought you an entire can, because I was like, this is not worth. We can't split this. That's just sacrilege. I've never had it until I bought it the other day. I bought it last week before the podcast, and then took it home. I was like, ooh, I really want a beer. And Jess was like, well, go get a beer. This is like Monday night. I had to get the video up, and I had a long day at work. It was like a 14-hour work day after not working for like 10 days. And I was like, oh, I'd love to have a beer, but I gotta get the YouTube video up because the Nazis are gonna get mad at me. And she's like, well, just go get the video up and have a beer. And I was like, normcore. Like, I'm going to get that beer. So I had it. It was good. And that's when I texted you and was like, well, I'm bringing one of these to the podcast for you.
It's much appreciated.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this one. What's today's date?
Podcast or real time?
Real time date. Today's date. The day we are drinking this beer on.
The 15th?
Yep.
Okay. May 15th.
4:03.
Is when this was brewed?
Yep. Was canned, I guess.
So it's a little over a month old?
Yep.
Not bad.
Nope.
For getting off the store shelf.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Anytime you can get a store craft beer, that's pretty, I would say within a couple months.
We were somewhere one time. We were drinking at the bar, and my buddy John was drinking a Bud Light and like tipped it up and looked at the bottom of it to see how, when it was brewed. He's like, when was this brewed? And looked at the bottom of it. He's like, that was a week ago.
Yeah.
It was like fresh.
It's probably a Bud Light, and he was probably down in St. Louis.
Okay, so here's an interesting thing. I don't like Bud Light anymore. Not a big fan of Budweiser or any of that stuff. Coors, not a big fan of that. Just like, it's not my jam anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Went down there to St. Louis, did the tour.
Yep.
Had that shit like right off the tap, like fresh.
Totally different experience.
All good.
Yep.
Like, yep, I love it. I'll drink this all day long.
Yep.
Isn't that weird?
Did you have like reaction thing to it still?
I didn't drink enough down there.
I'm wondering if it's not something
light
where it ferments and sits and
I'll
kind
tell you
of
the flavor.
That.
Yeah. Well, just for me, it could be just an allergic reaction to whatever the hops are or something, just random. Interestingly enough, I don't really care for like Bud Light and all that stuff, but yet love Corona.
It's different animal.
And then the stuff that I had down there at the brewery,
like
the fresh Bud Light, the first time I ever cracked open a Corona Premier without a lime, that's exactly what it tasted like. Like they were, in my mind, as soon as I took a drink, I was like, I've had this. And I was like, oh, it was super fresh Bud Light.
Yeah. Non-skunky Bud Light.
Like super fresh Bud Light.
If you've never gone to St. Louis and done the Budweiser tour and drank.
Oh, fresh beer.
Drinking
in the tap room.
A fresh Budweiser. You have not lived.
That's the one time.
Bud Light's good. Like I like Bud Light. I prefer if I'm going to, okay. Mm-hmm. I'm going to probably get flamed for this.
That's fine.
But one of my favorite beers to drink on draft, not like craft beer, but just like beer is Coors Light.
It's Coors Light, really?
Because I'm not going to lie here. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say that I think Coors Light tastes like Bud Light out of a can when it comes out of a tap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It gets that little bit lighter. I don't know what the fuck it does.
I feel like Coors Light in a can has more of a bite.
Yeah. But on draft Coors Light tastes like Miller Lite out of a can or Bud Light out of a can. To me.
I'd have to test that theory.
Yep.
That would require me buying an entire pint.
Yeah, don't do that. But I'm just telling you that like one of my favorite beers to drink on tap is probably either Coors Light. It's probably good fresh, but like if you get a fresh Bud Light.
Did you have Coors Light at your wedding on tap?
Oh, dude, I don't remember.
We had Riggs Hefeweizen.
We had 4 beers on tap at the wedding because
we had Riggs American Lager.
Nope.
No. Oh.
Okay, here's what I can tell you. We had Riggs Hefeweizen.
Copy.
Because that's what the wife drinks. That's her drink for beer. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I believe we had Busch Light because I love Busch Light and it's cheap and I like Busch Light. So I think we had Busch Light, Riggs Hefeweizen, and then I want to say we probably had a Bud Light and probably a Coors Light or something, some kind of domestics. I'm not gonna lie, I just kept walking up there and grabbing they kept slinging cups of beer out there. I just kept walking up grabbing a cup of it, and I was gonna ask, I'm like, what is it? I'm like, I don't give a shit. Oh, this is my party. I'm gonna walk up. I just kept grabbing a beer, and I was like, I don't really know what this is at this point, but whatever.
Yeah, you could tell like the The only thing that was like different was the Hefeweizen was darker.
Yeah. But I just walk up there, grab one of them fuckers. I'd take one off the left, the right, the middle of the bar.
Yep.
But yeah, I think we had 4 different, because I think they had you could have up to 4 kegs.
Awesome.
So we had 4 different types of beer.
That place was cool.
It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Our wedding anniversary, I feel like it's coming up as fast as the year's moving, and it's August 3rd.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do a little anniversary gift shopping, and I was like, shit, I got a couple months, so I don't have to do this yet.
You might want to start now.
Well, that's why, and then I was like, I know myself. I probably should start now. But
that's funny.
Yeah. It was a good time. I wish I could have enjoyed it better.
I love one thing that I will say new this week from the past weeks is that I am in shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops because the weather has finally broken.
Yeah, instead of supposed to rain all weekend.
I don't care.
But I mean, I'd take warm and rainy.
75 and rainy.
Like, I had to bust out the AC for my leather seats on the way home today.
Oh, damn. That's nice.
That's bullshit. I actually turned on the other day. I turned on my auto window down feature.
Uh-huh.
Because you can push and hold the unlock button, and all the windows go. But I turned it off in the winter.
Air windows, huh?
Yeah.
It's an old Peterbilt. Yeah. Interesting.
Fires up the air compressor and drops the air brakes. Now, come on, driver. I turned it off in the winter.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm going to be really fucking mad if I hit that button wrong. And like my shit goes down and like snow falls in my truck.
Right.
So I'm paranoid that it's going to happen when it's like pouring fucking down rain.
Uh-huh.
But you have to hold the unlock button for long enough that like, if you do it, you deserve a wet truck.
Yeah.
Like you're really got to try to be dumb there on accident.
You've been down in your pocket and it opens the windows.
Yeah, but you have to push and hold.
Can you roll them back up with that too?
No.
Oh, just down.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you have to get in, turn the key, flip the windows. Of course, then it takes a couple seconds, and then I'm like, so I turned it off. I turned it on because it is nice walking out from work. I go click, click, and then, hold the button, and then the windows go down, and I'm like, fuck yeah, crack the sunroof, get the back window, power open.
That's when you're like, you hit that button and watch that happen. You're like, so worth the pain.
Well, I do it with one of my coworkers who does listen to this podcast, and he'll be pissed when I say this, but I do it. I'm like, hey, bud.
I don't think I added him to the group.
Oh, we'll have to add him.
Did you?
No.
Oh, damn a dick.
We'll have to add him.
Wait, which one?
Scooby.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not adding the other fucker.
So
he complains too much.
I don't think he listens to podcasts.
Oh, that's good. I thought he did.
No, he complained too much about it.
Yeah.
So I walk out every day because he's got, I think it's an 07 half ton classic. So it's the new it's the new body style.
Yeah.
No, it's not a classic because it's no.
Figure it out.
I was on the wrong. I was thinking OBS. It's a cat eye. It's an 07 cat eye. It's a GMC, but it's an 07 classic. So it is the old style, not the new body style. So it's a new body style.
It's not a cat eye.
No.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a GMC.
Right.
But should have bought a Chevy. The cat eye looks gorgeous. I think he would admit it too.
I rolled up on a cat eye to go check it out the other day, and some rockers are rusted out. It's a crew cab short bed 2500 HD.
Yep.
And I was like, still almost worth it. It's the exact copy of Growy's truck at 3/4 ton.
Because I think he saw Growy's truck at my bachelor party, and he's like, "Man, I really like the cat eye." After that, and I was like, "Yeah, bro, it's like when it grows on."
There's like the GMT 400 grill,
cat eye.
Unless you go back further, like the 60s.
The old school trucks are always the winner.
The 60s and early 70s were like,
minty.
They all have like their subtle, like just the
differences and
and you can love each one individually, but like when it comes to like the newer front ends, cat eye left everybody in the dust until, for me, maybe the 17 front end for the Chevy. I liked it a lot.
I like the 15 that I have because it reminds me of a GMT 400.
Did you ever see my picture of that I did of that?
Mm-mm.
I went over to the dealership right after in 2014, after they came out that front end.
Parked it.
I parked my 400 at the end of the row, and then took a picture of I took like a legit photo.
Yep.
With my camera, and then posted it on the internet, and it was like, day 14. They still don't know that I'm an OBS.
They haven't figured it out
because it blended in pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yep.
I took a picture of my GMT 400 crew cab long bed dually next to I think it would have been a 2018.
Yeah.
2018 crew cab long bed dually Cummins.
The Cummins?
Real bad idea. Yeah.
Oh.
It had that big, nasty awesome looking front grill and real angry looking with the moose mirrors and shit, made my GMT 400 dually look like a Toyota. I was like, damn, why do I do this to myself? Of course, that son of a bitch is like $60-some thousand.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? This thing's paid for.
Yeah.
What do you do? But anyway, so I walk out every day with him. We leave at the same time. I'm like, hey, bud, watch this. Beep, beep. And I put my windows down and he's like, you're a dick. Like every fucking day, because his does not have that. I'm like, hey, you can have this fucking big ass payment if you want it.
Right?
Nope. Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks though.
It sucks. But
yeah,
what do you do?
I really am looking at Rams quite a bit. I'll probably sell I was talking to Matt about it the other day, and there's just a number of features that I cannot put on the OBS. Even if I drop 25 grand into the OBS, we're still talking about full paint and body to get the rust out and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about an LS swap, and I don't want to do it, so I'll probably pay somebody else to do it.
Yep.
That's probably 4 or 5 grand. And then you're talking about the other things, other little stuff that needs to be done to, make it the newer creature comforts and stuff. And I'm like, or sell that one, go buy a Ram.
Yep. Enjoy driving it. And just
enjoy driving for the next 5 years. And in 5 years from now, jump on the interwebs, look for an OBS out west that doesn't have any rust on it, and go pick it up.
You won't do that.
Be in it for less money than it would take me to restore mine.
Nope.
I really love that truck.
I don't think you would do that.
Why not?
Because you're like me.
Mm-hmm.
I did that.
Yeah.
And I went back to that GMT 400 dually. And I did the same thing. I said, I want to be
my daily.
Well, I know, but I was like, dude, to make this truck what I want, I want a 12 valve. I want a 48 or 4L80,
right?
12 valve Cummins, this, that, and the other. I want to do this. And it's like, fuck me. Like the last thing I want to do is have a project that I want to drive, like haul or,
And that's the thing. Like if you don't put it together well enough, it's a project forever.
I don't want a project truck like that. Like I want a project toy, but like not something I'm going to tow with.
Right.
So it's like, you know what? So I went and bought this truck that has every creature comfort that you could ask for and then some.
Yep.
There's shit on it. I still don't know what to do. It's quiet. It gets good mileage. It's comfortable. It looks good. And I'm like, you make a fucking payment once a week or once a week. Baller.
You get done with it.
We'll get that shit paid off real fast. You make a payment once a month and it's like, man, well, whatever.
Yeah. You could make the payment once a week, just split it up into 4 and make it feel better.
Make it less painful. Still hurts in the end though. But that's the thing. Like, I'm like,
my payment will be quite a bit less than yours.
I couldn't go back to, because I had it at 06 and 06 half ton. And I went backwards and I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a daily for me. It was like, I'd get in it and it just, nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the 06 half ton? Or you went back to the OBS?
Yeah. When I went back to the OBS, I was like, I just can't do it.
That's wild.
You lose those creature comforts and it just doesn't.
Yep.
Just
certain
doesn't
things
right.
you're missing. Yeah.
Yep.
It feels good. Like I would own a regular cab, short bed, regular cab, long bed OBS. Just as like
I know of one for sale.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, I do. He'd really appreciate it if I sold it for him.
Yeah, he would. He'd love that.
Gonna need about a couple $1,000.
Oh, is that it?
Well,
so I'll buy it for that.
As a down payment.
Oh, the down payment. Okay.
Yeah, that's the down payment.
Yeah.
That's the talking money.
So anybody wants a really nice
Minty
1991?
Yeah, I think it's a 91.
Yep. It's a 91. Really nice 91 OBS Chevy. Regular cab, long bed. I don't know what color blue that is. It's really pretty.
It's an aftermarket
it's like a steely,
paint
like
job,
a steel blue.
It's an OEM.
Yeah, OEM color from like, I don't know if it's a BMW color or what it is.
Gorgeous.
It is a gorgeous color. It's got billet specialties.
Center lines.
Center lines, that's right. It's got center line 20s, small block Chevy, TBI, Turbo 400, I believe it is. And Positrack rear end.
Yep.
It's a cool truck. It's a nice,
clean,
super clean.
It's a nice driver.
It's a 91, and then Mike did an upgrade on the interior and put 95 and up seats in it.
Yeah.
But it does a 91 dash. But
it's got the newer style grill on it, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, it does. And it's an actual legit, I think it's a legit grill. But either way,
Cal hood.
Super nice truck. Anybody wants one, hit up.
It'd be a really nice driver. Like he doesn't drive it.
Yeah.
But like it's because
Oh yeah, if somebody wanted to drive
he's
it,
gonna
like
get
in the
mad
summer.
at me for saying this, but he'd have to come over here to kick my ass. So come on over. It's not a car show truck. in the sense of like I drive it to a car show and bring it back to the house and park it.
I don't think it has a turbo 400 in it.
I don't think it does either, to be honest.
It's got overdrive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, I don't.
It's a super cool show truck.
It's not a show truck.
What do you mean?
It's not like a drive to car show, bring back to garage, park in garage.
Well, that's what Mike does with it.
I know.
I mean, it's in that condition.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's in that condition.
Yeah.
And it could win awards at shows and all this shit, but it's not. For me, that truck is I want to drive, not even daily, but I want to drive like a really nice, badass truck on like Friday to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, days. You know, like when it's like your motorcycle. Mm-hmm. You got a badass motorcycle that you don't daily, but you drive quite often.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, it's not like.
It's a good truck.
I'd park it and go to my car shows. And I think that's where he's at with it. He would like to see somebody thoroughly enjoy it and appreciate it and drive it, you know?
Right.
But what do you do?
Yep.
All right. Where can we get more info? If this wasn't enough for you.
Hold on. You can get more inside info at on Facebook. So if you stuck around this long, you're one of the diehards. If you didn't, for some reason, catch us in the beginning, go add Ian and I on Facebook.
Add us both.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I'm easy to find. Steve Summers. Ian's Ian Boyce.
Only goofy fucker hanging out of an orange S10.
He's pretty easy to spot.
40s.
He's pretty easy to spot. Go add us on Facebook or just search for Total Offroad Podcast Trail Riders. And it should
I don't think it comes up.
It's private, but it's not hidden. It's private, but it's not secret. I don't think it's hidden. I will double check that, but by the time this comes out, I will have that to where people can just add themselves. Go in there. You got to answer a few questions, and I'll give you the answers to the questions even. It's really pretty easy.
What are the questions? Ask me the questions.
What is every episode?
Lucky.
Fact. What is the dime piece? What is the dime piece buggy?
It's a non-running. Very good looking.
Paperweight.
No, it's not even a paperweight. It wouldn't hold a fucking piece of paper if it tried. It'd have to move.
Hold it down?
It'd have to move to get on top of the fucking piece of paper. Okay. It's an absolute horrible waste of money.
Okay.
It looks cool. It's gonna be cool someday. Rock crawler. Yes. I think I pretty much got everything there.
Pretty much everything.
It's pretty loose.
I don't know how to get in here to check what the questions are, but I'm pretty sure it was either one or it was like 2 or 3 questions, and it was like, I think it's just 2. I think it's like, what is the dime piece buggy? It's an S10, or it could be anything. If somebody comes with a smart ass answer and like it's even remotely related to the podcast, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like if they tell me it's a piece of shit that doesn't run,
well, they would be very accurate.
Yeah, if they called it a money pit, like it's a money pit, I'm like, cool.
They call it a rock crawler, they are out because it doesn't do shit.
It does not do those things.
That's my favorite question over the last like 4 fucking years since I've wheeled. Everybody's like, where do you take that? Because around here, there's fucking no wheeling. Yeah. It's flat. And so people look at you like you're stupid as fuck. You're like, oh, you do a rock crawling? Well, where do you do that? And I say straight face as fuck, like, I'm a driveway. And because they're already mind fucked that you have a rock crawler in the middle of the Midwest corn belt. And then you're like, rehearsed answer of, yeah, in my driveway. And they're like, dude, I have no clue this guy is on fucking medication. Like, he ain't right. And I'm like, yeah, it holds the jack stands down. And I'm like, trust me, if you knew, this would be funnier. But
one of those inside jokes.
Yeah, fuck them. Some people get it, and then I'm like, okay, we can be friends. But if you don't get it, I'm like, okay, just move along with yourself, please.
Oh, that's funny.
I might actually post a picture of it outside flexed out this weekend.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Wouldn't it?
I'd love to see that happen. With the cab on it?
No, without the cab.
Oh, without the cab. Flexed out just the chassis.
Yeah.
I like it. Do it.
I got to make sure my shocks clear the 43s.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
Where I've got it mounted, I know it clears my like 30-inch tire rollers, but I don't know if it's cleared my 43s, which it should, but I just want to double check before I burn them in there.
Do you think these people are still listening and have still not gone to the Instagram or the Facebook and gotten the group?
I don't know how you wouldn't.
Like, yeah. Like, you're still listening. Pause this thing. Like, you've already been listening for an hour and 34 minutes. Pause this thing. go get added.
Maybe
into
we'll
Insider's
read
group,
your comment.
and we'll probably read your comment because the trail riders are the OGs. They're
Dude,
the
I'm
hardcore.
telling you, like, I cannot, it sounds stupid, but like, I came out of work and I was sitting in my truck and I'm just like,
yes.
And then I look at my phone and I'm like, wow, there's a bunch of like messages and all this shit. So I just happened to start with Facebook and I was scrolling through all my notifications. I wasn't even looking at all of them. I just scrolling through them and I saw you posted in that group. And I said, you know what? I'm about to go home, take a shower and do podcast stuff. I'll, see what's going on in that group. And I started reading the comments because at first I was like, wow, that's a really good idea. Like you ask your followers what they want to talk about. Right. And I'm like, that's such a like fucking high five, Steve. Good job. And then I read the comments and I was like, you sons of bitches, you pulled an us on us. Like, for nothing. Yeah. And I was like, fuck yes. And then I started reading them. I'm like, damn it, Bill. There's always got to be one that actually answers the question. And we've got to have those people because otherwise this would go to shit. But
did we touch on that topic at all?
No. I think that would be a good episode. On. Yeah, like we could do some research on it because I'd like to do some justice.
What was it again?
He would like to do or talk us. Let me try that one
other
again.
Parks.
Other parks. Yeah, he would like us to talk about some other parks around here.
I would love to talk about some of the parks. And you know what? In that, you guys are listening. Why don't you message us and let us know what parks? Because a few of you guys are in the Midwest. So we're calling out Michigan, Indiana,
Wisconsin,
Ohio, Wisconsin, Missouri.
Yeah,
would be a good one, and Kentucky, Tennessee.
Yeah, fuck. Now you've included Windrock,
Sticky.
Yeah, but yeah, give us some regional central U.S. feedback on wheeling, and I would like to kind of do my homework. And maybe in the next few episodes, I'd like to sit down and do a nice episode where we talk about some different parks and actually get some feedback. And we'll see how the reaction is. I have an idea. We'll see how the reactions and the comments come in on this, because if we start getting a lot of people giving us feedback on different parks, I think it would be really cool to sit down on some downtime and call up some people who are going to give us good feedback on these parks and put together an episode of us talking to listeners about parks in the area.
So like we would hit up each listener.
Yeah.
And like have them on.
And let's just do a quick
5-10
minute, like, let's talk about your experience at blank park.
And then get another listener and do another one.
Do it, we could do it over a couple
episodes.
No, not so much episodes, but like we could do it over a couple days and then edit it together and maybe,
great.
throw it live, a month down the road. Yeah. My editing guy just gave me a look, but I come up with the ideas. You make them realities.
Look at Trail Bob's face.
Yeah, he's mad. Yeah, he's pissed. But I'm like, man, that'd be kind of a neat episode to do, to kind of get people's real world opinions and put them all together, and it'd be a cool resource.
Exactly.
So bring us some comments, and if you'd like to get in on that, let me know.
Yep. I like it.
Now I'm done. I'm out of beer.
That's all you got?
I'm gone.
I was looking for something. Hold on.
Okay. I can hold the audience for you if you want.
Yeah, you keep it.
I can keep going.
I'm looking for a message and I'll get back with you.
I do think I'm still going to hold true to my doing some videoing of the Raptor liner process. And I will probably gauge the interest off of that to see if I want to start doing some like time-lapse video editing stuff on the dime piece getting put together in the garage.
You should.
So, well, yeah, but I want to see if there's some people that listen and have the interest of seeing it other than pictures. I will do it, but obviously it's a time, I have enough time getting the damn thing together, let alone putting a camera and editing time lapse of me cussing and sitting there eating a sandwich. So
did you see, I know, I'm sure you saw it. The meme thing that Lincoln Bray posted, or that is it? Yeah.
I don't know.
That he posted up. Yeah, you saw it in the Trail Riders group. I posted up in there. It was this guy. I can't. Who is that guy?
Oh fuck!
It's a cartoon character.
Yeah,
and he's like he's from like the Rudolph movies. Or
yeah, I was gonna say like a Rudolph like the cartoon.
Yeah,
Rudolph.
the cartoon like that. Yeah. Anyway, he's sitting there with his hands thrown up in the air, and it says, and he's got a Yukon shirt basically
badge on his shirt.
Yeah, badge on his shirt, and it says, "Best I can use a business card."
I'm just excited that last podcast we were complaining about not getting stickers. This podcast, I've got a table full of stickers, koozies, personalized notes.
That's when you know you have good listeners.
And business cards.
Winning.
Fucking A. I might have to give old Chris over at Complete Offroad a call and get some spools.
So I'm gonna have to apologize in advance.
Again?
Yeah.
It's late in the game for apologies. We gotta go.
I had a lot of messages this week. One of the listeners messaged me. It made my day, and now I'm sad that I don't remember who it was that sent it to me. And it made my day on Tuesday. Sent me a message, and it said, "Got him at the end."
I don't get it.
You don't remember the end of last week's podcast?
No.
When I got you right at the end with Blue?
Oh, yeah, where you fucked me. At least this week we got it out of the way early. You're lucky I don't edit this podcast. I'd edit one of those out every week.
Yeah. Well,
and you could say it all you want, and I'd just be mad in person, though, I suppose. So.
I just love that, like, it felt good that somebody, like, got all the way to the end and listened all the way to the end and then was like, got him.
Recognized and went, yes.
I'm sure I had them laughing. So that had me cracking up when they sent it to me.
I don't know why it bothers me, but it just does. It's not a color name. You don't pick a color. But no, it's just stupid. The fuck's a bikini? What is a bikini in reference to color?
I don't know.
It's not a thing.
It's not.
No. I would like some. I bet there's a Crayola number. I bet Rick was onto something with that.
You think so? A Crayola number?
Crayola color.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, he was just referencing you talking about the 120 box of crayons. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I think it was just a Crayola color or some shit. Somebody just thought this shit up.
All right. You want to get out of here and get these guys something else to do?
Yeah, they got other shit to do.
Okay. All right. You guys know the drill. You can find us on the internet at www.totaloffroadpodcast.com. You can find us on YouTube at total_offroad_podcast. You can find us on Instagram at total_offroad_podcast. My personal is low_KEE_XJ. Ian is offroad_Ian. We're on TikTok. Go search that Total Offroad Podcast on TikTok. You'll find me.
Don't forget. Crawler Offroad.
Oh, yeah. That's always a good thing. I don't forget. I hashtag Crawler Offroad on every post.
Discount code.
Oh, yeah. TOP10.
I don't know how people haven't ordered stuff from them if they haven't.
Maybe they have.
Well, I don't know.
If
they haven't, I don't know how you haven't.
I know that I'm getting ready to order some more things.
Crawler Offroad.
It's worth it.
I don't need a winch line yet, but when I do, I'm going to order a couple of them.
I already have one.
But
I need to get another kinetic.
You've technically used yours off-road. So
fears, sort of.
No, I mean, you did. You were off-road and you used it.
I was off-road and I wound it up.
Yeah, but
did you see the new kit? Okay, on the Crawler Offroad, since we're going to stretch this out anyway, did you see that Crawler Offroad now carries Keep It Simple Offroad.com's winch covers?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm a
fan. So you can pick those up at either place. You can go to keepitsimpleoffroad.com and pick up those kick-ass winch covers that Mike is having custom made. They are awesome. I got one on Low Key. You can check it out on my page on lowkey_XJ. Or, yeah, that thing.
That one.
You know where to find it.
Get it. You just told them a minute ago, so just fucking Crawler Off-Road. Just go buy the shit, okay? That's all you got to do. I'm just going to take that advertising tactic.
Just, you know where to get it. Go
Stop talking about nice and stuff and just go buy their shit.
I like it.
Rick will send me a message and be like, stop promoting our company with the word shit. Sorry. Just go buy their shit. It's nice as fuck. Just buy it.
Let's wrap this up.
Bye.
We'll catch you on the trail.